Welcome to Dave and Dom Demystify, a FinTech Futures podcast, helping make sense of the world of FinTech and digital finance. Please sit back and listen as the two Ds take a subject and discuss it to make it clearer and easier to understand.
Demystifying.
Thank you so much for talking to me. Really delighted to have you. I wonder if you could just briefly introduce yourself and then just say briefly what you do.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Vyacheslav Kim. I am the CEO of the Super App, and also I'm the managing director at the Freedom Bank. I'm in charge of several fields like marketing, support, contact center, also 600 people. Yeah, and also my main field is Super App, and also we develop a couple fields in ecosystem companies. Also, it's a data lake and profile, 360 customer, golden node, and also the team developers who helps us to build these lifestyle services like chess ecosystem, like I told, and what else? My auto, my health, and also. But before banking, I worked in a brokerage company, in Freedom Broker. It was very interesting to switch this landscape to banking because it's very complex and very complicated sphere and business. We collect a lot of people, not bankers. I mean, Anel, for example, she worked in media, like a journalist, yeah? And it was very interesting. She's the director of the Super App. I mean that we changed this mindset that people who never worked in banking sphere, they can build best banking app or whatever inside the banking. It's very interesting that we had this journey. I mean
That's super interesting. I mean, I was just telling you about my background. And
yes.
I'm always incredibly interested when you meet people who are very involved in FinTech and the FinTech ecosystem who haven't come from a banking background. So thank you, because I think that's fascinating. I'm very taken by the Super App and what you're doing, because I think there's some really interesting developments going on. But I wonder, what's the history of the Super App? Because it's built on a kind of FinTech platform to begin with. And I just wonder what the genesis of the idea of Super App was.
Our goal was not to just add some new services. We understood that we have to build this platform that united banking and many services that we use every day. How it was started. It was interesting because we bought a small bank in 2021. And then it was a small bank, like I just said today, it was 40,000 clients.
Okay.
It was small, and we understand that we need this application, and we understand that it is not a classical banking app, it will be. Because in Kazakhstan, we have around 10 million economically active users, active people, and everyone had 3, maybe 4 banking cards or applications. And it was we understood that we have to create something different that people will use, download, and also their retention will be high. Then we understand that Timur invested in maybe several startups. We understand that it's a good idea if we build this one access ecosystem application to give our clients everyday access and everyday using, traveling. We understand food delivering, grocery, and so on, more than 18 services we have today. It was interesting because we're not bankers. I thought that we can build it during maybe 6 months.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm not a banker. Because before I built a startup, maybe in 1 year, and we built and we expand or reach, I think, whole Kazakhstan users in this platform, investment platform. And I thought in banking it will be the same, but it will not, because it's a huge structure, and we understand that we have a lot of very complicated governmental, we have authorities that control everything what we do. How we will launch this feature, how we will launch this code, and so on. And it was interesting journey because we just absorbed banking like specific fully, and it was very fast. I mean that during like couple months we became bankers. Like it was interesting, yeah. And then we started to draw this super app, how it will look, what will be inside. We had a lot of like R&D across many countries. How it work in Singapore, how it work in Korea, in China, in Europe, Revolut. It was interesting because you just absorb everything, you analyze, and we, I think, did huge this job with the R&D. And then we understand that because in Kazakhstan, whole banks develop similar. I mean that similar banking apps, similar navigation, similar main page, everything similar, and also products similar. And we understand we will be like different, and it worked.
So can I ask, was that the super app was part of creating that difference?
Absolutely. And I think that it's very important to help people like solve their problems, everyday like scenarios. And we have everyday banking, around 45 services today. And also all these like businesses and services like lifestyle services, we also redesign everything. We simplify these CGMs, these flows, because it's very important to help people to get this service or like product in 2 weeks, not 20, not with some inputs of your personal data or something else. It's very important because in Kazakhstan, people are price seekers. They understand how much it costs, discount, best price, and it's very important for them. And like I said, that we have these 3 layers: everyday banking, lifestyle services, and this layer that adds value, like referral program, freedom loyalty, and our freedom currency. Because it's absolutely different than you get cashbacks, you receive cashbacks, not in like a regular currency, in real stocks,
right?
Like ETN, exchange trade note, that link it to real stock FRHC. And it was very interesting because we thought how it will be. Like people, do they understand that they receive not just cashbacks, but these real stocks? It worked because people just asked us to divide this freedom currency from the banking card. Because when we launched this freedom currency, this cashbacks account was linked to the banking card. We have 7 currencies and 8 currency is freedom currency. You can like pay, spend and purchase like everything. And for example, you have in your account tenge, for example, 40,000 tenge and 50,000 in freedom currency. And if you like buy something for 60,000, we will take this like 20,000 from this freedom currency.
Yeah, so it's actual
real balance, yeah.
Wow.
And then our clients asked us, please, we want to save, to keep this freedom currency because it's a real stock, and they understand that our stock grew from 68 in 2024, April 2024, to 150 today dollars, and it's more than 2 times, and it's crazy.
So that, I mean, having your customers becoming shareholders.
Yes, it was like crazy idea, yeah?
Crazy idea, yeah. But a brilliant one.
A brilliant one, yeah. And we understand that the people, they understand how it works.
I mean, it's really interesting because in a way you're educating your consumers as well.
Yeah,
so
because in Kazakhstan, we have like average mindset, like notion that people from consumption to investing, because everyone just like spend money, take these loans, small loans for like consumption, like gadgets, accessories, and so on. And we try to change this mindset, people's mindset, that you can save this cashback and this cashback will grow because you understand this company, you invest your time, money, and help us and yourself to like build this ecosystem, and we will like happy, like this growth we will help out everyone.
So, I mean, the more you use the app for kind of shopping,
absolutely,
the more cashback you get.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting model. So it's interesting that you said right at the start that you own data as well, the kind of data lake. And I guess one of the great things about the super app is then you begin to build up a picture of a customer and, you know, what their kind of behaviors are, and then you're able to support them through more personalized. So is that kind of an inherent part of the super app strategy?
I think this like hyper-personalization is very important for us. That's why we built this and we developed this. It called Freedom Profile. We called it Freedom Profile. It's like 360 customers, like golden node. For example, we understand what do you want to do, your flights, your like purchases, everything from whole ecosystem. And we understand what you need. For example, you need a new iPhone, and it depends, for example, from the offer. If we just like show you the banner with the iPhone, buy the iPhone with the cashback, it will not work, yeah? But if we show you, you love, for example, you have like 2 years old iPhone and maybe you change every 2 years. And also we understand like black one with the 12 gigabytes or something else. And we understand everything. And we can like offer you iPhone with a good price today with the buy now, pay later. And we will deliver on time, like in 1 hour. And it will work. That's why this hyper-personalization is very important, because we have a lot of services, a lot of products. It's very important that hyper-personalization will help you not to distract you, but help you to focus your life and to close everyday like scenarios. Like, I mean, that's to buy something, to fly and everything. That's why also, for example, we understand people, for example, every 2 months fly to like Astana. And we understand that in the end of the month, fly to Astana. And we will offer you your ticket with your seat that you buy usually, like first C, for example. And we will book you pre-offered. And it worked because you will see that, yeah, I usually fly by Air Astana and I usually buy this first C, and it worked. We understand that this hyper-personalization is very important. And also we understand that AI assistance is like in the future. Today is not a future, I mean, that's its reality, because we integrated AI in many our like systems. I mean, these evaluation models, compliance, anti-fraud, everything. Fees transfers also, where like AI assistant helps you to fill up your like your documents and everything. But during maybe 3 months, we are working right now in this Freedom AI assistant that will include everything that you can do in your super app, like transfer money, like send some messages, like order some food, some grocery, everything, buy tickets, watch some movies, everything. It will be available in Freedom AI Assistant. We have right now like an MVP like service with this Freedom AI. We have around 20 services that inside. First one is consultant that consults about a whole ecosystem.
Concierge.
Concierge, yeah. Next one is like support also that will help you to find some like your questions, answers. The second is around 10 banking services like transfer money, some like payments, like digital documents, like ID, passport, everything. And you can just like give me my passport, for example, and it just like show you your passport. It's very convenient. And also 4 scenarios here. We have mobile, when you can buy like iPhone, you can ask, recommend me which iPhone today is the best. And he just like a assistant. We have inside like local models, and also we have these open performance models like ChatGPT 5.4 and Gemini and Higgsfield, DeepSeek and everything. It works in one flow, like open models and local. I mean, we have this orchestration model that help you with everything. Orchestration agent that just like plug some like another agent that help you with some certain like service. And it's very interesting. I think this year we will launch this AI assistant, and I hope it will be like alternative interface.
It's fascinating. I mean, I'm really interested. I'd be very interested when I have the opportunity to see the agent. I mean, it sounds like because I think you're right. I mean, tying all of this stuff together, creating that interface makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's very important that we have around 30 companies inside this Freedom Holding ecosystem and different teams. I mean that there are many like professionals, like leaders, like team leads and so on. I mean that we work with everyone. It's very important that it's like businesses and they live in Super App and remain like a main application. They have no any standalone like application. It's very also important because it's like different management, like, system that we have no like one vertical. I mean, this guy is very like, he's the main, for example. No, we work together.
Right.
It's very complicated, absolutely, very complex task for us. But my goal is give our colleagues, our partners, freedom in their like products. But we help them to reach our clients, to reach all the potential of the Super App. It's very important because we launched it in September 2025, our streaming service, Freedom Media. It's like Netflix. We have around 10 huge partners like Disney, HBO Max, and so on. And also they filmed 13 their own originals TV series.
Wow.
It was like very, million of users watched it. We launched in September and in November we reached 500,000 clients. Because of the Super App, I mean that this platform works and ecosystems today is the future because this like fruitful platform, yeah.
But it works because of the comprehensiveness.
Absolutely.
So there's one area which, I mean, and I know we're running tight on time, but I want to ask about health as well, because that
health
seems to be a big move.
Absolutely.
And I guess once you start bringing people's health information into the Super App, it kind of takes you to the next level.
Of course, yeah.
Did you see health as something useful for customers? It obviously is, or is it another way from a kind of business strategy point of view of
Absolutely.
tying people in?
Like we said today, that our strategy is to help our people to communicate with the government also, to reach all these services. I mean that, for example, health. We have obligatory insurance, yeah? Also, we go to these hospitals, like city hospitals, I mean, like, from governmental authorities, yeah? And it's very inconvenient, like, to go by yourself and with some traffic jams of like people to wait, for example, and receive this analysis and everything. It's not convenient today because today is like high rhythm and temp of the life. Yeah, and we understand. That's why we build this. You can just take an appointment, first of all, and then you can just telemedicine. You can just take this like consultation and I mean this session with the therapist online. It's very important too. We also include all our insurance products, like life insurance. And it's very important because we understand, for example, if he wears like Whoop, he's our like client and we understand that he measures his like steps, his heartbeat, that he understands that it's very important. And when we will insure him, I mean that we will give him some personalization. I mean that better price, something else also. And also we have this like pharmacy and we have like a lot of problem with these free pharmacy, free drugs or pills. I mean that people want to get these like free drugs and it's also like inconvenient to use. And when we include this feature in Super App, like you will show the QR and they will scan and give you like this. And so also will work. And everything around your health, like
medical
records. Yeah. Because I mean that it keeps in different places like today. For example, when you go to the hospital, they give you papers and then you will just like
lose them.
You will lose it. Yeah. And it's very important to keep all this information inside and also understand that free AI assistant will help you too. Like it worked in Headspace, for example, yeah? Therapists, I mean mental health. It's also very important today because we need in this digital detox, I think. Yeah, because it also a huge problem. And also we have in our ecosystem company Med365, it's called. What they do, they work with villages in Kazakhstan, for example, where there's not like infrastructure, hospitals and something else. And they have this working equipment that will help like in 20 minutes do the checkup of your health. And also online, because they include these professional doctors that will control like online and will help you also. And it's very important because I mean that our people, they need professional like medical care every day. And also it will be inside in SuperUp.
Wow, I mean, that is incredibly holistic. Well,
Absolutely. For example, we will tell you, today we have this DNA test. It's also very interesting because it's maybe you will know something that you didn't know about yourself. And also we will tell you, oh, you need to look more in this like area of your life and do some analysis, for example.
But do customers, are they embracing that or they like that, do they?
Absolutely, because we take care about you, for example, about our customers. And it's very important because you can do everything. Today it's very like complicated to find the doctor today. For example, my daughter, she gets sick. She had 39 like temperature.
Right.
And what are we gonna do? We discussed with my wife. Where's the doctor? Where we find today? It's like midnight. And we have two decisions. First one is to call the emergency.
Yeah, the ER.
But they have only one solution, is like, but it's not a good place. Another one is to call friends or someone who will help us. But today we have no any like platform where we can go like find a doctor and like call and he will like drive to your home and will like help you and maybe like take these analysis and like everything. Today we need mobility more. And also we will have this AI medical assistant also. You can ask, my daughter has like 39 temperature right now, what do we have to do? And we will offer you like, you have to get this analysis, this doctor maybe free, and you can choose what you're gonna do. And it's very important because in these moments, people like feel very like
vulnerable.
Yeah, and distraction also from.
Fascinating. Well, listen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really having heard everything, I'm really impressed. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Freedom develops. The name is brilliant, by the way.
Yeah,
and there was one other thing that, this is just a very random thing, but green light.
Yeah. For information, for example, eSIM, like this internet abroad, we launched in 1 month.
Wow.
I mean that my colleagues, like Timur also, he travel very often, yeah. Every week he in Japan, in the US, in Europe. And we understand that it's like the problem to have this internet. And then we find the company partners, and during 3 weeks, we integrate.
Amazing.
And today it works, and we sold around like 40, maybe 35,000 eSIMs.
Wow.
And I mean that it's very useful and convenient because it's very expensive to use like local operator like telco in like abroad.
Of course, no, it's solving another problem. Well, listen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Dave and Dom Demystify. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tune in next time as we take another topic and demystify it.